Hello, everyone. Welcome to Caffeine Co-op. My name is Zach.
And I'm Brandon.
And we are back.
We're
here
so
to talk
back.
Your garbage video game podcast that is absolutely back. Do I make promises I can't keep? 100%. Am I going to make more? 100%. We will do
so back.
absolutely
back,
everything
baby.
and anything to disappoint you, which is why you should listen to us all the time whenever you want.
100%. 100 OP. We are so back for the foreseeable future until something happens and we have to address that with our full intention, which happens because we're humans and we have our own lives.
Look.
But we're so back.
But can I promise you that we're going to do more podcasts? Yes. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Once a week, you're going to get more podcasts. That way, when I give you once a month, you should be fucking happy I did anything. Thank you.
You saw my reaction in real time. I'm like, excuse me? We didn't talk about that. So
Brandon, we don't talk about anything off air. We never talk about the podcast off air. We catch up for an hour or so, talk just about everything and anything. Not the podcast, though. Podcast is do it live.
Yeah, do it. That's all we demand. That's all we demand from each other is we do it live, here, now, and we're so back. That's why we're doing it. We're so back. We're
Absolutely.
so back.
100%.
And what I need from you right now, Zach, what I need you to sell me, even to sell me. I didn't mean to say that, but you got to sell me on this.
Now I'm selling it.
Because, for some people, this might be their first episode of our podcast. And to them, I say, I'm sorry, because this is going to be a real weird one. We're both up on caffeine, like a lot of it, hence the title of the show. But to sell our audience on this episode of us being so back, I need you to tell me, what have you been playing?
Brandon, I'm so thankful you asked. And to all those new listeners, first of all, you should make sure you listen and follow and subscribe. I don't know where this is. And our greatest question that we ask, the only consistent part of this podcast, I will tell you what I have been playing. Awesome. And I am pretty pumped. I've got a whole spiel set up for you.
I'm so excited.
It's been a while. I think our last podcast was October, and I had a lot to First of all, I still have not talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I beat before the last podcast, but I'm not talking about that today because there's not enough time. I don't have time. I will tell you I'm excited for Rebirth, which is Yes? Is that what it is? I think. I don't know. Final Fantasy VII Remake 2.
I know that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Part 2? Yeah. I mean, I will say, just to mention about Final Fantasy VII. Listen, I don't know why I sound like Obama right now. Let me be clear. I understand. It's listen. I have full intentions of playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, not because any of my friends told me it's a great game. Shout out to Anj, or to them telling me like, hey, you would like it. All of those things did happen, and they all play into it. I gotta say, since we last talked, I'm kind of in love with Tifa and Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. I'm just saying that. Just gonna put that out there. I swear, I will play the game. Maybe just for them.
I mean, that's a valid reason. That's a very valid reason. But yes, I'm very excited for Rebirth. I've played Remake. Hope to finish. It won't happen. But I would love to finish the Crisis Core Remake on PS5, which
that's right. I forgot that came out. Yeah,
and it's great. I love Crisis. It's still a great game.
Nice.
One of my favorites of all time, probably. But I haven't finished it because I've been playing a little game. Game of the year game.
A tiny game.
Tiny game.
Oh, I've been waiting for this too.
I have been playing Baldur's Gate 3, and Brandon, I got some stats for you. So before I even talk about the game,
I'm going
to tell you some stats to kind of tell you how much I've been playing.
Tell me those stats.
I purchased Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
You got it, buddy.
I got it. We're so back. We're so back. I got it.
I bought Baldur's Gate 3 on January 4th. It is currently February 5th. So basically a month ago.
not to interrupt you, but the way you sounded like a true crime podcast. So like, Zach purchased Baldur's Gate 3 on January 4th. So continue.
It's an accurate way of how I'll be on about
this. That's how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah. A month ago. Almost exactly a month ago.
Yeah. Almost.
I have logged
a month ago.
88 hours in 1 month.
Oh wow.
I crunched the numbers, Brandon. Here's your stats. Crunch the numbers. All right.
Give them to me.
Quick Google tells you, and I don't know how accurate this is. I don't care that much, but quick Google, 730 hours in a month. So approximately, give or take.
Just gonna say,
around 10% of my time this month was Baldur's Gate 3. Now, to put that into perspective, if you sleep 8 hours a night, which I think you and I both pretty much don't, we're pretty bad at that.
Not a chance. Yeah.
Doctors mandated 8 hours a night for a month. You sleep 30% of that month.
Yeah.
So 10% of my month was playing this specific video game. This one specific video game. The craziest thing, though, Brandon.
Yeah.
The craziest. If I were to open up and share my screen right now and go to my game of Baldur's Gate, I think I only have like 30-ish at most hours in my game. So my time is divided between my main game and I have a second game playing with a friend who has the game, who actually convinced me to get Baldur's Gate. Shout out Alex. And he was like, I've got 3 playthroughs going, so like I'd love to do another one. He wanted to be a monk. I was like, let's do it. I'll be your guy. Like, I'm getting the game, all that. It's also it's so funny. To key-eyed listeners might remember how I was avidly playing Elden Ring when I got that, and I hated it. You remember that was that was hatred. That was more of a like, I'm pretty good at video games. Yeah. I want to beat this to show that I have beaten it. Like,
yeah.
And at some point I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is stupid. I don't enjoy this at all. Baldur's Gate, on the other hand, I get angry at Baldur's Gate because of how much I love it. And I'm like,
oh my God. That's amazing.
I will figure you out, you son of a bitch, because I like this shit. And I will not let you make me be the end of this whole thing.
Right. Oh my God.
I absolutely love the game. It's phenomenal. For anyone who doesn't know somehow, Baldur's Gate 3 is just D&D, the video game. It literally, you have virtual dice rolling constantly. It's just, there's no other way to describe it. That's what it is. I created our lovable Fenrir, which is my D&D character in the campaign Brandon and I are in. And because you know the main reason I did that, though, just to take some of that pride out of why I did it, was because whenever I get hit with a character creation menu that is as like freeing as like Baldur's Gate, I'm like, I don't want any of these decisions. I don't want eyebrows.
I'm good.
Teeth and like chins, and it's like I don't. I was like, what's a character I know that I can just make right now? Fenrir, boom, we're doing it. Boop, 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 boop.
I love that.
Just put all the specs in that I know and love, kind of a thing. Yeah, dude, Baldur's Gate rocks. I have been playing it nonstop. It's just so addicting, and like I don't like I said. So I have 2 playthroughs going at the same time. Valerie is also playing it, and she has only one. We're probably going to start a joint one between the 2 of us soon. She just started Act 3. So anyone who doesn't know, the game is split up in Acts 1, 2, and 3. I'm still in Act 1.
Right.
Like I have combing that game left and right for every little thing. And that's one of the reasons kind of love-hate it, because there's so much to do. In reality, you shouldn't try to do everything, right? Like, that's how much is in the game. But I enjoy it, and I want to do everything. So It's wild because like I don't want to miss anything, and so like literally it's like very it's Skyrim-esque in the sense that I'm stealing cheese left and right off the tables, the plates, everything. I'm selling for gold,
right? Yeah.
You know. And I got to a certain point where I finally am like, okay, now I don't need to steal the cheese and the plates and stuff. Like I have enough money that I can just steal the armor and then sell that instead. You know, it's. I haven't even talked about the game at all, which is like it's so. It's so mesmerizing. It's just completely eats away at like I'm constantly thinking. You know the joke. I don't get it. I don't care. I don't think about it. I don't know if I'm out on the joke. Like the whole what was the last time you thought about the Roman Empire? Oh, I was talking about it yesterday and blah 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 blah. And I can't even do it because I don't give a shit. But I think Valerie said that, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, the Galactic Empire, I think about that all the time. And,
yeah.
I am constantly thinking about Baldur's Gate. Like right now, I'm like, what I can't wait to do is just tinker with Fenrir's spells because I made him a one-slot sorcerer right now. And or like I go back and forth on what armor to use, and it's just like all these things I'm constantly like want to play with, and I haven't even finished Act 1 of this game. The story is really good. The story is very entertaining, and the best way I could put it is Alex actually said it this way. In Act 1 specifically, the main plot of Act 1 is the most classic like first level D&D campaign. You go to the place, they need help, you go to the other place, you kill the bad guys, you go back, you end the day. Like it's awesome. Yeah, and it's like apparently only 48% I think of players that play Baldur's Gate ever finished Act 1 because they just keep replaying it as new characters because you can just get a quick adventure in basically. And it's really cool, and it's hard to argue like that logic or that mentality. I'm constantly like thinking about decisions I've made, and like that was definitely a big problem I had at first. Well, I still have that problem, but not as much. And the problem is one of the reasons I don't like it as much as D&D is because with D&D, we make our decisions in real time and you run with it, right? Like there is no hold on, let me do that again button. You know what I mean? Like Adam, shout out Adam, but Adam has definitely given us those moments of like, are you sure you want to do that? Like he's definitely like allowed that flexibility, but not often are we like reloading. And that was at first I was reloading like every conversation I was reloading. Like I was like, well, what if I said B instead of literally like multiple choice? Like what if I said B instead of A? Let me go read back, do that again. And I was so like that's again hours of this game. Like I can't tell you how many of that is just me replaying it, which is why the actual campaign has less hours on it. But it's just so entertaining, and it's hard to really describe because like I could tell you the story. I could tell you how it starts off and you're in a mind flare ship, and like I didn't even know what a mind flare was before this, even though I played D&D with there's all these cool things it introduces you to. Very well done as like a first level too. Like there's some challenges you can't or shouldn't be able to do as first level, but if you figure it out, it's like really rewarding. And there's all these little bits, and I could walk you through the story right now, but that's not even the thing I would like want to propose or sell you on. Is that it's just like electrifying, exhilarating, like it's really thought provoking actually.
I like that.
I'll say a minor spoiler. That is it's immediately gonna make people hate me, like hate me as a player immediately. So
I'm so excited.
Oh my god, it's bad. It's pretty bad.
I think I might know. I have an inkling. I'm really curious.
So for those who don't know, because I don't know why you would unless you're stalking our sessions, Fenrir is my fighter character, and he wields usually a great sword. Some kind of two-handed weapon is his preference. But he's a fighter. He's a big run in, you fight the guy and you leave.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where you go in a cave and there's an owlbear and an owlbear cub, and the owlbear is pissed. She's an NPC to fight. She's not in a good mood. She doesn't care about you at all. You can, and that's one of those things. I'm like, I did it like 5 times. I'm like, you animal speak to her. You can just animal handle her, like whatever it is, and she's gonna fight you basically if you go in that cave. It's like, all right, you can't really get around that. Well, after you kill the owlbear, the cub goes up to her, and the scene goes, do you want to take care of the owlbear cub? And like, you got people in your party, and they're like, it would be a mercy killing because the cub will die on its own or something, right? Right. And like, I'm like, I don't want to kill the owlbear cub. That's right. Well, then the owlbear cub proceeds to eat his dead mom's body.
Oh my god.
So I killed the owlbear cub because I'm like, oh, this is a little psychopath bitch.
Yeah.
This guy's he's a fucking psychopath. Like
I'm doing the world some good.
Like, look. I don't know if anyone's watched Shameless, but when the dog eats a person, you put the dog down. You can't keep that dog alive. That's a bad thing. They get to taste the human. That's all there is. You can't go back. It's like It's Always Sunny. You get the hunger, right?
Yeah, you.
So I watched this owlbear cub eat its dead mother's carcass, and I'm like, this is a fucking psychopath creature. All right. So I put it down. So I kill it. It was a mercy killing. The characters applaud me for it in the game, and I'm like, all right, I feel like shit, but this was my decision.
Yeah.
And I'm wrong with. Mind you, Brandon, this was the moment where I finally was like, all right, I'm going to start going with my decisions and stop replaying the game so often. It was maybe a week later that I find out if you don't kill the owlbear cub, he joins your party. And I'm like, oh, fuck me.
Holy
and
shit.
Literally, I'm like, oh, I'm a monster. Okay.
Oh, it's me.
Valerie was watching a YouTube video the other day, and the bit, because every YouTube video these days is a bit, and his bit was playing Baldur's Gate and killing every single NPC, like it's just absolutely all of them. And I was like, that's crazy, right? And so she was already like X minutes into the video, and I literally walked in to hear. And the first NPC I actually struggled with killing was the owlbear cub, knowing that blah blah blah. I'm like, I killed that fucker in 2 seconds.
I stomped that fucker out. That's what I did. I don't know about you. I had them. I painted the walls with that mother.
Baldur's Gate is just. I mean, the long short of it is every bit deserving of Game of the Year. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, I have not tried using a controller, and I can't, I've really recommended it. So, like, if you can only play it on your console, like, I gotta assume, like, it's still good. But I can't imagine not having a mouse and keyboard, because I'm constantly, like, quadruple button clicking on the keyboard. So, like, I'm really curious how you have that. So I've actually been wanting to try, and maybe I'll do this before our next podcast, whenever that comes. But like, I've been wanting to just plug a controller in, never, to see what that's like. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, but
that's a great point. I mean, no, and especially with a game like that where it's it's comparable when people talk about like, oh, with like a shooter on PC to console, it makes sense. That control scheme still applies to console, but especially with this, it's such a different control scheme that is like really dependent on a lot of keys. Like, how do you do that for a controller? And I don't have an answer for that.
That's what it's
not what you're coming to me for.
It's a lot of menu sorting. Like, so I gotta assume it's possible and just time consuming. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah.
Like,
that's tough.
Dude, it's just, I don't know. It's so fun. I will say I don't get the point of having the sex scenes. I think it's really weird. And like,
I like that. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
It's really like it's very reminiscent to me of the Eternals sex scene, and I'm like, this doesn't do anything for me. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah,
you I didn't need this, and like,
yeah,
and was it kind of a mission to get to that first sex scene in Baldur's Gate? Yeah, a little bit. You're like, all right,
yeah,
all right, I was able to get there, but then it happens, and you're like, I'm not proud of this. I'm not. This is not something I'm proud of.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But other than that, it sounds great.
I mean, for real though, like it is. It's also just it's very player friendly. Like even there's an ability where you can pay a, I don't know what to call him, not a god, but you can pay this being, and he will let you reclass your character as whatever you want. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Like because like I'm sure there are people who spend 40 hours as a character,
right?
But they're like, what if I had done this as a wizard? And they don't want to go restart the game. They just want to keep playing, but try it as a wizard. So like, you go to this guy, you give him 100 gold, which is not that expensive in this game. Like in the game, 100 gold comes pretty, I'll say, easily. And like you do that, and then you can reclass them. And then like if you don't like it, you could go backwards, or you could just load an old game. Like it's things like that are just very player friendly. That's the reason I multi-classed my character as a fighter sorcerer, because I was like, if I just don't like it, I'll just go back and I'll erase the sorcerer part and just make him full fighter again. Like, yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it. I feel like I've said a lot, but not anything. Like, like if you don't know what Baldur's Gate is, I feel like you're sitting here going like, I don't get it.
I guess I'm curious, like who's your favorite party member?
Okay, so again, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I'm not at yet. Act 2 and 3, apparently the story is apparently, from what I've heard, without like not spoiled, but from what I've been told from friends, internet, etc.
Yeah.
Act 2 is when the story picks up. Again, Act 1 is really like learning the game and having fun. Apparently, Act 2 is when the story picks up. And apparently, certain characters really like you'll learn who they are. Okay. So going off of what I know in Act 1 and not whatever happens, because I know people dislike certain characters once they get to that and like other characters. Karlach is probably my favorite. She fucking rocks.
Nice. I was gonna say Karlach.
She's the coolest. She's just
cool. Cool vibe too.
She's like I want to have a beer with Karlach. Like,
right.
That's like I just want to go have a good night out, like kind of thing. I currently am. I hate how this sounds. I'm romancing Shadowheart, the character. If you like women, that's the character most people are going.
Not sure how. Yeah.
And then
that's a good way to put it.
I will say best friend vibes, Gale. I really like Gale. And like it kills me that Gale's not in my party, but Astarion, I don't care for him, but he is a really good rogue, and so he will never not be in my party.
Right.
The way Astarion's stats are in my game, he is the classic, like he goes to lockpick a chest and he needs a 10 but rolls a 33. Like,
oh my god.
Like every time. And I'm like he's like I'll never not have you in my party.
Right.
Like Gale's character is way more fun, but like at the end of the day, you're boof fireball wizard man. Like I'm sorry, you're expendable in my game.
Yeah. That's fair. That's in line with what I've heard, because I didn't because I was gonna say the two most notable characters I've heard about, like far and away, has been Karlach. How do you say it? Karlach and Astarion. Those are the two like huge standout ones in terms of like just people, like those are the two names I've seen or heard the most out of.
I like Astarion. I just don't really know anything about him other than look, I didn't know about this until I saw it in the game, so like I'm not going to spoil it, but like what he is like interesting and like cool. And it's a fun like he's a fun character to play as. Like he's a good character, but I don't really know too much story-wise about him. So I'd be curious to see how that improves. I also don't do things he likes because I don't know. I don't know. I get a lot of you get the little pop-ups like so and so approves. So he disapproves a lot when I make decisions.
That's amazing. I love that. That's
he's very.
I've heard a lot of stuff about. I know what he is.
I know you know what he is. Like I figured, I should say.
We want to say for the audience, which
because I didn't know, and
that's cool. I didn't know. It's a surprise. Yeah,
and I literally the scene happens that you find out, and I was like, get out of here.
That's the scene. Like I was thinking about it, I wasn't sure if you hit that yet, but that's the one I know has been the linchpin for a lot of people, where there's a few different directions you can go with that. That's like after that scene.
Well, that's the crazy dude. This game amazes me to no end, and I think a great example of that is you really can have a different experience every time you play it. For instance, even though these characters, Asterion, Shadowheart, Karlach, Lysel is the one I'm about to talk about. They're all story characters. They're all on the cover of the game. However, Valerie, so in my playthrough, I go and I'm collecting the characters, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Lysel's a fighter, so I'll take her to fight with me side by side. Shadowheart's a cleric. I'll throw her in the back. She'll heal us while we're fighting. Gale's a wizard, so he'll shoot fireballs from over there. Or Asterion, I'll have him run in and out, like whatever, right? You're setting your party, right? And I'm just collecting story characters, right?
Yeah.
Valerie in her playthrough, she's only done one playthrough. Her main playthrough, first time she got to Lysel, and she was like, "I don't like your attitude." Murders her, murders Lysel, right? like just and I'm
so fucking funny.
We're talking about him like it'll a lot of times I'll be like, "Oh, did Lysel do this for you in your game or blah, blah, blah?" And then she just looks at me and I'm like, "Oh, you fucking killed her like 80 hours ago in your game."
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah.
Like that's like, you can do amazing. Whatever you want. Like,
right.
I mean, literally that guy who's killing every NPC in his game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh my God.
There's so many things you can do or choose not to do. I mean, even my owlbear thing is a great example. Like, took him out, right? And that just like there's nothing tying that time, and it amazes me how different each session can be or not. Like the fact that the story characters aren't even safe. It's really cool.
That's so fascinating. I love that kind of stuff.
I made fun of her so bad. She's just like,
so
I didn't like her, so I killed her.
Yeah, honestly, that's fair. Yeah, I get it. It's sometimes they gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry. I love it.
Yeah. Any other Baldur's Gate questions, I guess?
So you're planning to play more?
Oh yeah, I'll probably play after.
Or you're gonna hop off? Yeah.
I'm not. I
love
like,
it.
Probably 100%.
You're like itching. Yeah.
I unpacked so I'm in a hotel and I unpacked my gaming laptop and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot my Xbox controller. What do I care? I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate. I'm gonna use my mouse.
That's amazing. Yeah. Just like whatever.
I don't need that.
That's so good to hear. I love that. That's I'm trying to think of any other in terms of like trying to think about how to phrase this. Actually, I don't know. No, I don't have any other questions. I was trying to come up with one, but I don't want to come up with like a lackluster one because I was going to be like, why is it called 3? Like, why is the third one not?
That's a funny that's I looked into apparently Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which do exist. They came out decades ago. Like they're very old, and they were made by a completely different development team. Like,
oh wow.
I think D&D is Wizards of the Coast. I think I made that joke already, but I think that's like the company name. I'm pretty sure they sold the rights to a different game developer who wanted to make this game. Yeah, and I mean, gotta imagine a DLC is coming soon, or Baldur's Gate 4 or whatever. Something. Like, I mean, it's making that rich money.
It's made like crazy amounts of money. Like it's sold in a way that I did not expect. Because I knew people were excited about it in the circles, like either podcast circles I listen to or like that kind of stuff. And that feels like you would have to know about it, to buy the game. But this feels like it's exploding in a way that is like way outside of like what I thought it was going to be.
I mean, I think to put it like lightly is that like I get excited at the idea of a DLC releasing, and I'm not even a third through the game. Like I just want there to be more of it that exists for everyone, myself included. But like I fear the game ending, basically. Like
that's amazing. I love
it.
God, that's awesome. That's so good to hear.
All right, I think, and then like I mean, that's been it. Like, I'm not even gonna.
Okay. So I wanted to. Oh.
I mean, I guess technically Spider-Man 2 has come out, and I beat that too. Like
that's right. Yeah.
But I don't have that in me to talk about it. Like, it's a Baldur's game.
I wish,
baby.
But yeah, it's like that's a whole nother episode, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
That's gonna be. I will say. So I did check Baldur's Gate 3. Let's guess how many units it's sold to date. Or okay, as of November 2023, how many copies do you think Baldur's Gate 3 sold?
I always go back and forth on how this works. So I'm going to say over, you said November?
Yeah.
I'm going to say over under 10 million copies.
A good amount over. Not like a crazy amount, but just over. Do you want me to tell you?
20 million copies.
You're off by 2. 2 million copies.
But that's
pretty good for them. Gotta say, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
November 2, like I think the game was only out for 2 months at that point. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even buy it until January.
Right.
Like,
oh my god. Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how many hours have been spent playing Baldur's Gate, like worldwide.
I was just gonna say, I'm reading a headline right now that says gamers spent 3 million days making characters in Baldur's Gate 3.
That doesn't even make sense.
That's insane. Yeah, that's not like a real thing. Like, how do you no, that's not
it's not a real. I get it. Yeah. I get what they mean, but that's just not a real thing.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, that doesn't. I don't understand that.
Yeah, dude, and it's another like I already said this. I there's nothing else. Like I'm just gonna keep re-saying things because it just excites me so much. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god.
So anyway, play it. It's a lot of fun. You'll do something I didn't do, and I'll do something you didn't do, like kill an owlbear cub. So there you go, folks.
That's the one thing I'm gonna do the same. Everything else is that's
just
yeah.
I'm sorry. I got Best Boy Scratch instead of the Owlbear Cup. So
oh, there we go. Oh, that's
although apparently, so Scratch is the dog. There's a dog, and you can get this dog. Apparently, though, if you have the Owlbear Cub, they're friends. So that's probably.
So you fucked that part. Yeah, it's.
All right, Brandon.
So
Brandon.
Yes, son.
Brandon.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
What I've been playing? What I've been playing, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a few different things. I'll tell you about how, to break the news on the pod, I have a PS5.
Yay!
Thanks to Zach. That's a long story. Very appreciative. that's the thing. I wanted to say that because you might have single-handedly reunited just me playing games again. Because I've played so many games in such a short amount of time in a way that it's like feverish, in a way that I forgot how much I love games.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run it down real quick. The games I've been playing, I think in the past 2 months or so, it has been Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom I have not finished yet. Wonder beat, still at 100%. Spider-Man 2 beat. Just played Resident Evil 2, the remake that came out in 2019. Beat that. Just played. There was something else on the Switch. I just started Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Nice.
And I'm replaying Batman Arkham City. So I've not played that since that came out. That game's pretty fucking good.
Oh my god, yeah, dude.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, the one I'm most surprised by, and I've only played a few hours of it, but it's fresh on my mind, and I want to come in hot with it. Ratchet and Clank is fucking good. That game rips. It is really fun. Like I did not expect to like it this much. Where, and I'm not just saying this, there's elements. Or I'm gonna say this up front too. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has elements from Titanfall 2. So you know me. But I'm like direct influence where I'm like, oh, that is 100% a gameplay mechanic they had in there. And so it's one of those things where I didn't expect to like this game as much as I do, where every level just feels different, and they're introducing new mechanics and new weapons that are in line with what I know of Ratchet and Clank, where it's very goofy, kind of silly. These kind of weapons are like not quite militaristic, but like this kind of goofy sci-fi adventure style, where there's ones where you can like throw a fungus bomb that makes people into plants and stuff. It's really really crazy, really fun, really hectic. And it's one of those things where it's just like, on top of all that, it has like these amazing traversal mechanics, which, yeah, Insomniac, that's they know what they're doing.
I mean, in short, they definitely know what they're doing.
Yeah,
like just in gaming, they know what they're doing. Yeah,
it's out of this world. But yeah, it's I'm really excited to get back to that. That's my like, I want to get back to it, because that game is just a blast. I really did not expect to like it this much.
So I love that you started playing that, because I've only ever loved, like, I think Ratchet and Clank is one of the oldest games I remember for PS2, kind of a thing, like that series. Yeah. And I have yet to play the PS4 version or Rift Apart. Did you play the PS4 game?
No.
So I love
I played a tiny bit of the PS4 one, and then I was like, I wasn't super into it.
Oh, okay.
This immediately grabbed me in a way that I was like, okay. I was like, yes, I like this. It's fun. It feels like a PS5 game, if that makes sense. Where it feels like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want from like new games. Where like, this is stuff where it's like building on a lot of mechanics and foundation that is really good, but pushing it in a way that is like taking all these different elements and putting them together in a really like way different package than you would think, because it's like, it has a really great intensity of like a third person action shooter, but with like and in this way that like I really miss those games, and I haven't played something. It feels akin to Gears of War, but not the cover based part, but just that feeling of like a third person shooter action game, where they have that. They also have like it came up a little bit in Spider-Man 2 with Black Cat missions, where there's basically these rifts that happen that you can like pull yourself to, and it's a really cool mechanic where as you pull yourself through the dimension, it happens in real time. There isn't like a loading or something where it's like, oh, like you would usually hit that happen, and then it would be like loading, it would be like, all right, next session.
Yeah.
But in real time, it just like just shifts your character there in a way that is like so seamless. It moves so quickly. It just doesn't stop in a way. I'm just like it in a way that like just made me really excited about games too. Where I was just like, oh damn, this is like this is exactly what I want out of a next generation version of this game. Whereas like the PS4 version was good. That was like a solid game from what I played. But this was like this just feels new and like exciting and fresh in a way that I haven't played this kind of game for a while. In the same way that Spider-Man 2 felt like such a fresh, just fantastic take on superhero games. Not to dip too far into that, but
I was gonna make kind of an executive decision here that let's tell everyone right now. Our next episode, I guess it could be a mini episode based off of the size. I don't know, but we'll say our next episode will be a Spider-Man 2 review because I know we've both beaten the game, both loved it. I'll say that much. But like, I really do want to like. I'm going to talk like an hour about Spider-Man 2 alone, and I kind of wish I had remembered that I had played that. There's so much to love about that game, and I just don't want us to. I mean, Brandon, you feel free to talk about. You feel free to talk about it as much as you want right now, but like I'm just saying, like I would love to do a deep dive on that game because it deserves it.
Absolutely, there's so much stuff in Spider-Man 2 that like kind of want to refresh myself because I played the game so hard and so fast that it feels like it left my brain. Yeah,
dude, that's another game where I'm like, give me the DLC, like just give me more of this game right now.
I need a new game plus. I am itching for that.
Which is coming. Which I'm really like.
Good.
Like they did say, Insomniac said, I don't think they didn't give a date, but they said early 2024. I think they maybe said January. I don't know, but like they know they want New Game Plus to be a part of it. That not being a part of the base game, but like that's also one of those things. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 too. They didn't have a New Game Plus, and it was like at some point you want to focus on the game. And I think Last of Us 2, another example, is like one of the things that was holding that game up was multiplayer. And then they just cut it. Which was huge because so much of the fan base just wanted multiplayer. Like,
I felt bad. That was
crazy.
Rough.
I understand things being left for later because at the end that's okay, because when you do finally drop New Game Plus, I'm going to play that so freaking fast, man.
I'm so excited. It's definitely one of those things where I think it's kind of for the best that they did space this out, because I would have like went right back the fuck into it. And that's the thing. I'm like, I need some, my brain, like it's one of those things, but it was so good. The game was so good that it made me love games again, if that makes sense. Like that, and that might be the highest, like that might be the like highest award I can give Spider-Man 2. And I can also give it the honorary Spider-Man 2 award because it is the best game called Spider-Man 2.
Dude,
second best is Spider-Man 2.
That whole shit, the whole like, I assume you're goofing on the award they like gave themselves, or are you not even talking about that?
No,
did you just
I was just talking
did the
about
most branded shit where you made fun of something that exists not knowing it existed.
What can I say?
That is
We're
your
so
superpower.
Back. We're
that is
so
your
back.
Superpower. Yeah, I think I forget if it was Insomniac or PlayStation. After Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year, I think it was PlayStation released Spider-Man 2 is our Game of the Year choice or something like that.
Oh my god!
And it was like, look, love Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And at that point, didn't even play Baldur's Gate yet. But it was like, you can't just be like,
it's
our game is Game of the Year.
Well, it's like it's the publisher equivalent of putting the game up on the fridge, being like, oh, that's really nice. So like, look, you know what? Or like a participation trophy for this game, where it's like you know what, you tried your hardest, and that's, you know what, that's what counts. It doesn't matter. Sorry,
it'd be like Disney releasing a Pixar movie and being like, this is our Pixar choice for the month. It's like,
motherfucker, that's you.
Movie.
That does feel in line with Disney when they're like, especially when they're okay. Sorry. This is mostly because I still have a grudge when they used to do that when they were like, it's going away in the Disney vault. Nothing we can do. Hands are tied. This is going back in the vault. Sorry. Like, motherfucker, you're the one doing that. You're the one putting it back.
The Disney
Take that shit out.
Vault is the most. You know what? The funniest thing about that though is the Disney Vault is the most Disney-ass thing today.
Yeah.
Back then, like they
oh my
were.
God, that's
like, if anyone ever argues like Disney's changed, blah blah, I'm like, no, Disney's doing the same shit they've always done. Like,
same shit, different year.
The Disney Vault is something that I'm waiting for them to be like, we're bringing the vault back, and you're like,
you asked for it. We're bringing it back. We're putting you inside the Disney Vault. That's, like, you can subscribe, and that would be the ultimate. They're like,
but you know what they would do is they'd put it. Yes, they would put a section on Disney Plus called the Vault, and like you could go look at what's in it, but you can't watch what's in it unless you pay the Vault fee or whatever.
You just peek and what is that? I can't really tell. It's all blurry. It's like, what the fuck is that?
What's in the vault?
You see guards walking by. It's just
it's the little Maleficent guard, the little Maleficent minion guards.
I like that.
or it's Winnie the Pooh when he wears the bucket and he has this little toy gun. That's
good. That's him. He's got that on. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh. I kind of would want it to be like Disney. It was like, we're putting all the racist shit in here. And it's like, if you really want to see it, you got to pay us. Pay us extra. It's like, we got Song of the South extended edition, extra racism version.
Look, I'm not going to say what it is on here because it's that bad. But my favorite, the how did they get away with this? This is just straight racism. I always bring it up. Go watch the Aristocats. It has easily the most racist movie. We're watching this movie because it's a cat movie. So Valerie obviously loves it as a child, right? And we're watching it. I'm like, what?
Yes,
it's when,
I know what you're talking about.
It's
the cat.
To put it in a simple terms, it's when one of the cats plays the piano, and it is look up Aristocats piano picture, and you will immediately be like, oh.
I gotta see it for myself. I gotta see because I haven't seen it for a while, and it's like
it is. But you also have to watch the clip because the audio is also. It's how. I made me and Nick made the joke for the Aristocats. You know how like a lot of the Disney movies now, like that. I think Dumbo is another one of them. They have that like thing at the front of the movie. They're like, "Warning: this has like outdated whatever bullshit warning we're putting here."
Yeah,
the Aristocats one. I forget if it was me or Nick that said it, but it was like you need to put that warning before the movie starts. Then a second warning that's like, look, we're really trying to warn you here. And then like fast forward to the scene is starting, stop the movie, hit another warning, be like, this is what we were talking about. You've been warned. This is on you.
Goodness gracious. It's something else.
I'm gonna do a quick
lookout.
Quick 180. I'm gonna do a quick
U-turn?
TV show shout out that's not racist Disney.
Raise up.
And they don't need it because they hit #1 on Amazon Prime a couple of times. But not hell of a boss. I already fucked up.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Has-Been Hotel is the whole series. It's 8 episodes. It's a musical cartoon. It's on Amazon Prime, and it is amazing. I listen to the soundtrack like almost every day right now. And like I'm at the point of like I'm upset that it ended because like how did it already end? So that's just my shout out to this is classic Caffeine Co-op. Zach's gonna shout out a show and that's just gonna get like canceled into thin air or something like that. But that's my go watch. If you adult comedy, I'm just gonna also like it's very not like this is not Disney cartoon stuff here.
Yeah. It's
Has-Been Hotel.
Considering Caffeine Co-op is for families. It's all for all ages. We are a I can't even keep that up.
Yep.
Not
even possible.
Nope, not even a sliver of a chance. But you know what I also want to tell you about?
What?
Oh, Ratchet was really good. It also reminded me.
I was just throwing it back. I was like, Brandon, take the wheel again.
I was like, all right, all right, fine. I'll take the responsibility. Yeah, just I want to mention too, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is fucking great. That game really went under the radar.
I was gonna say I didn't play it. I wanted to hear all your thoughts about it because I mean, to my knowledge, that game just dropped. Like, I was just like, oh, there's a new Mario game out, and then I get a Snapchat from you. Hey, just finished Mario Wonder. I'm like, what?
All right, what universe are you living in? Yeah, just like it did come out on the same day as Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
That's yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. But I didn't even know if it was a new game. I just like I was like, is this just a re-release of something? Like I had no idea.
And I definitely think it is something where the past like 5 years, past like 10 years of 2D side-scrolling Mario games have kind of been that, where they're just like, this is something. Yeah, they're just like, it's so little fanfare of just like, we made another fucking 2D Mario, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I gotta be honest, like, especially from the Wii and the Wii U, like, to now for 2D Mario games, it has been a little bit of just kind of been like, bleh, just kind of like, here you go, just shoveling shit to the pigs at this point, where it's just like they were
eating the slop.
Yeah, it was just like which is really harsh to say about Nintendo and Mario games, but like in comparison to everything else as a whole, where like especially for me, it was the Super Mario Brothers Wii was fun. It's pretty good. I like that era of stuff, but what I'm here to tell you is that it's basically Super Mario Brothers Wonder is Nintendo looking back on everything they've done with 2D Mario and pretty much doing Breath of the Wild, but for Super Mario Brothers, where they're like, all right, what works? What doesn't? Let's throw out so much of the conventions of the last 10 years or so, but also just make this the most finely tuned 2D Mario game you can play, where every level just feels like it is bursting with imagination and ideas on such a frequent basis, where they are throwing new mechanics or power-ups or ideas at you, where you're just like, all right, I now have to react to this. What's going on? Which is a big part of the game. It's tied into the whole conceit is the Wonder Seeds, where when you hit the Wonder Seeds, it changes reality. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. It's not like, oh, things are things are a little bit different. Things can go so wildly different that it always threw me off. Where like the first level pretty much gave me a good impression of what I was in for. Where as you're running along, there's a bunch of piranha plants coming up from the warp pipes trying to grab you. You get the Wonder Seed. It then turns into a musical section with all the piranha plants popping up and singing at you. And it is so delightful. It is so much fun. And it's just like, oh, awesome. That's one level. That is just like, oh, you're done. And you go on to the next one. And the next one could be, you get the Wonder Seed and you turn into one of the enemies, and it turns into a stealth game where you have to hide from Goombas. And you have to hide behind things as they're going by. It's Metal Gear, but with like Mario as like a little guy that gets eaten by Goombas if he's not careful. And that's one level. They do this like throughout the entire game, where they just throw you into a level, throw the wildest shit at you for like 3 minutes, and then they're like, oh, all right, on to the next thing. Let's go. They just funnel off to the next thing. And then like there's points where it's like I can't even remember all of them. That's the thing. They're so wild. There's like one where as it's 2D, you get the Wonder Seed, it turns into an isometric, like almost 3D version of that. You then have to run around, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit because it was one of those things where it's like it was such a like hard change where it's just like, whoa, it's just like, oh, okay, now I have to figure out how to do this, and it's like they don't really give you a tutorial. They're like, this might happen. They're just like, no, you're in it. They just throw you into it in a way that is, it's so exciting because it's like it again. I know I already said this about Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank. This made me like so excited about video games because it's like, oh, awesome, they can do this. They have this like these crazy ideas they can just throw in one level, and that is one level in like I don't know, like 60 level, like it's a pretty long game too. It's still like I'm still getting like everything, and I'm getting to the special worlds. But I will say the special worlds have smoked my ass. They are very difficult.
So actually challenging.
You know, like they give it to you. They are not holding back. As someone who is, I would say my area of study is more of the 3D Marios. Those I would say, even those are like, there's a section in Super Mario Odyssey where it's the darker side of the moon, and the darkest side of the moon. I have not beaten those yet because those are too tough for me.
Okay.
That's one of the things where I'm like, this might be my New Year's resolution. I'll say it on the cast. I'm gonna beat Darker Side of the Moon and Darkest Side of the Moon from Super Mario Odyssey this decade. So I don't know what's gonna happen this year. It's really tough. Those sections are really tough. And as someone who is, I would say, I'm better at the 3D Mario games. I would say better than average at 2D Mario games. Not trying to, just trying to. I'm just saying. Don't cancel me. It's just the truth. I'm just saying here. I'm pretty good at Mario games.
It's just he's a Mamma Mia, a little bit. It's got a little. It's got a bit of woohoo in him. That's all.
I got a little bit of Mario in me. It's whoa. It's definitely it comes out. It's saying that I was getting my ass kicked on some of these levels. It is brutal at times, where I'm like, but in a way that was really exciting because it really felt like, all right, like all the other levels are really fun. I can get through them really easily, and it's a really great challenge because it's basically Nintendo being like, all right, you can get through this like in I would say like a medium difficulty. You'll be pressed at times. You'll be able to get everything. You'll see the credits. In I would say in like a decent challenge. Like you'll be tested. You'll be pushed. If you want to get everything though, that's good. Oh, they really put their back into this one. They're like, no, you're gonna have to work for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, it is. It's tough, but fucking fun as shit. It is like I haven't even got to the power-ups yet. There's an elephant power-up. It's awesome. It turns into an elephant, and you can then spray water or shoot or hit people with your trunk. You get a drill power-up.
I think I've seen the elephant.
Elephant's pretty good. I gotta say, Elephant Daisy, she's pretty. I'm just saying. She's pretty cute.
Just putting it out there. Just being honest.
I'm just saying, Daisy. Hey, you drop Luigi. You get with get with a real man. I'm just saying.
Real guy.
I'm just saying. An actual real human.
Man. Actual real human
man. It's definitely
man in the real world. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
all facts.
All facts and possible. But it's one of those things where it's just like it has like a drill power up. It has a bubble power up. It has like not only the power ups, but you also get badges that you can use in each level. That the badges have different powers. Where you can get basically a Spider-Man vine, like a vine whip, like sucks you to a wall. You can get like a wall jump badge. You can get like a hat float badge where it's almost like a hover jump, but it's all of these little details. Like
they all sound new too.
They are too. It's basically them being like, what are the weirdest or best way I can put it is it feels like. Also, I want to check in because you look like your side. You're like like burst or something.
Since you paused, I have to piss so bad.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, it's okay. This actually works out because this is a section of the podcast I like to call Brandon in the audience. Zach's going to find this much later when he's doing the edit. Or if he doesn't edit, which is entirely fine with me. I do not mind. We can put this up raw. And yeah, he works hard. He does a lot for this podcast. So I do not mind. But yeah. So how's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty well. I've been reading a lot more. I've been trying to, at least. I just read James Tinian's World Tree, Volume 1. Really, really good. Really grim and just scary and weird. But he really has a knack for just really getting under my skin with some of his stories. Really great horror comic series going on right now. But anyway, now, with Zach Dean back, that concludes our section of the podcast.
Oh no! I have to keep this in now.
I honestly, there's honestly a point where I was like, Zach might hear this, Zach might not. I don't know if he's gonna edit this. I don't mind.
I wasn't going to, but I got to a point in my Baldur's Gate rant where I was like, I might cut some of this out, and I was so I was planning on. I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know, but I was going to edit. but so power-ups are new. Obviously, levels are very new. I think the only thing I wanted to add, and like you can keep going. I'm not trying to cut you off, but since I literally cut you off to do something else, the only thing I was gonna say was kind of a lot to what was first said. Like, it's funny. Nintendo kind of does these haphazard. Not haphazard. Really, half-ass is the word. I just didn't want to say it. But like these half-ass, like not releases, but promotions or marketing, I guess is the they do these half-assed marketing for, we'll say, like the 2D Mario game, but like but as you said, like I'm pretty sure every 2D Mario game since Mario Wii U has been a hit. Like Mario Wii U, the 3D remake, which I forget what the official title of that one was. Like New Super Mario Brothers, I think was one. Have I played all of them? No, but the ones I've played I liked. And I'm pretty sure the Mario community has like 100%, like head over heels loved each one, and they somehow don't get the respect they deserve from Nintendo itself.
Right, it's insane. It really does feel bonkers. Yeah. It's like, okay, I just want. Sorry, I just had like a video glitch for a second there that really freaked me out, where like the video caught up, so it looked like you were both like facing the other way and also looking at me. It like flashed to me looking at you, and that kind of fucked me up for a second. That actually kind of scared me. So like, oh, what's going on? Also, you'll hear in Brandon in the audience section, I read a comic called World Tree today that is about like the internet and like weird glitches that happen. And it 100% it like fucked me up because I was like, oh my god.
Absolutely.
I was like, no. It's too much.
No. No.
Yeah. But no, it's crazy, and it does feel. I like what you said. Like it doesn't like the promotion doesn't feel earned, or it doesn't feel justified for what we got, because it was like it felt very much like, oh yeah, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. But like when I tell you 4 out of 5 of the producers who worked on Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World worked on this game, like I think that's pretty fucking cool. Like it's basically a lot of the same team of Super Mario World were on this game, and they were like, it 100% feels like them looking back, like not just on the past Mario games, but like 2D side scrollers as a whole, and being like, all right, what can we learn from other games? What can we learn from them? And then like, how do we push it forward too? Like it feels both a celebration of everything they've done with Mario, but also like, all right, what is a Mario game in 2023? You know, when it was released, or like in present day, like it's not going to look like Super Mario World, and they're doing something new and different with it. I think it's like, it's and it's really exciting. It's something that I am hopeful for, and this is a whole nother conversation, whatever the Switch 2 is going to be.
It's another conversation.
Yeah, which is probably going to be, I think, you want to take bets? Because I think it's going to be holiday this year.
It's this year. It's for sure this year.
It's like there's too many factors that say yes.
I can't. There's a game. Oh, although it's crazy to me that Metroid Prime 4 never came out, and like that's going to be on Switch 2 if it comes out at this point. Like
Switch 3 at this point. I don't know. Yeah, it's like definitely
seriously though. Like the smart move would be to release that with it, but there's no way that's ready. There's no way that's ready. And if it was, that would be one of the greatest like hush ups ever. Is that they kept that under wraps that it's going to drop this year. You know what I mean? Like bets. I actually think. I think we'll get a 3 months notice.
Damn.
If I had to guess, I think June, July we get the announcement for a August, September release.
That's a
It's my guess.
That.
It's my guess.
I see it coming out tomorrow. Yeah.
I can't figure out. They have to have a launch title like Breath of the Wild in their pocket.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of why I think a Metroid Prime 4 would make sense. But again, that game there's no way it's ready. I don't know. I can't imagine. Maybe Detective Pikachu 2. I could see that. I don't think that ever came out, right? Like,
so I could see
that's a pretty
Mario
easy
Odyssey 2 in terms of like a Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey, where I don't know what that would look like. There's been rumors for like years of that, but like,
I also I don't want to cut you short on Mario Wonder,
you're good.
But I do kind of have a follow up to that kind of goes into what we're talking about right now. So Nintendo based, and a lot of that being that like like you said, Mario Wonder is one of the games that has like reignited your video game like love right now, right?
Lust. Yeah.
Yeah. Need it.
I love how you said love. Like lust, like just the sweaty affair with the Switch. Yeah.
That's what you love with the PlayStation, but then you get that lusty affair with the Switch.
It's like shh, it's right there.
I can play you while watching something on the other. So I can watch Netflix on my PlayStation while I'm playing the Switch in handheld. Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. No, what I was gonna say. So like, it's exciting to hear you say that, and I think that's important because, so Valerie and I, prior to Baldur's Gate 3, we had started Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Nice.
And I gotta tell you, I don't really care for it, which was pretty sad. Like, I'm gonna go back to it probably, but like Sword and Shield, so we've had so Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu was the first Switch Pokemon game,
right?
And that was just remakes of Red and Blue. It was fun. It was like we got Red and Blue on TV. You know, it was cool. Sword and Shield, I love Valerie. One of her favorite games probably ever. Oh, wow. Loved it. I thought it was really good. Step in the right direction. I haven't played Arceus. I heard similar things about that. Scarlet and Violet, I just don't care for. And I am saying this to bring up a topic that I'm curious if you have any input on at all. And that topic is Pal World.
Not personally, but it has been fascinating to watch the discourse, and just the ramifications, just ripple out. It's really fascinating. Yeah.
I have not played it. I plan to play it though, to be honest. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I think it's interesting because the whole reason I want to get to is the bottom line of what I'm trying to bring up is my thing with Pal World is I think visually it looks like it has more care than Pokemon does right now.
Right.
And like I don't care if I think I forget if it's confirmed or still speculated, but like there might, so apparently AI generation might have been used to help create some of them, whatever.
Right.
To be honest, that's kind of the future. I'm not gonna just I don't like it, but like I don't anyway. Moving on. I'm just saying
it's
but like what I'm trying to get to is that like even with that, whether that is true or not, like this game, this indie game looks like it has so much more love and care in it, like by people that want to play video games than like the most recent Pokemon. And like so like I just it's one of those things where I like that there are still games, both indie and AAA, that like come out that still make us feel this way. Is all I'm trying to it's a negative thought that I'm spinning positively, but like I hope it like impacts Pokemon moving forward.
Sorry, the glitch thing happened again. It freaked me out.
Oh, okay.
It's just like that. If there's a video cast, you should see me jump. Stop it. But no, I think that like I think that's awesome. It is a really good feeling because it's something that happens occasionally. I think not as much with movies not as much with games, where movies will be like, my favorite movies are usually a mix of like blockbuster. I love blockbuster movies. I love blockbuster movies, and like small indie films or like dramas and stuff like that. It doesn't usually correlate that much to games, where I'll be like, there's some indie games I feel like I'm like, I'm good. Like I don't really want to play this talking simulator. But there's other games where it's like, it's like, sorry, sorry. I mean, I'm sure it's a great game. There's definitely there's like so many you put in this area. I'm like, that sounds cool, but the only thing you do is talk. I kind of want to shoot people in the face with guns now. Dude, some games don't provide that. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you watched the last PlayStation State of Play.
No.
I didn't really care for, like, I thought some of them looked fine, whatever. But like, look, I don't know. I don't think you played it, but I can't remember. They announced Death Stranding 2.
Oh.
And I'm watching that trailer and I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit about this at all.
That trailer is bonkers. I was like, it's
some of the craziest CGI I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's definitely, oh my God. Yeah, that shit. That's a whole nother episode. We'll talk that out. That, and we'll talk out what happened between Mortal Kombat 1 leading up to Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh yeah.
Which it still makes me laugh saying I love the fact that it's like I love their naming conventions. Just they went from Mortal Kombat 11 to 1. They're just like, fuck you, fuck your SEO. I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's but no, I think it's really cool because like over the past few years, there's definitely been a lot of indie games that have like really ignited my passion. Like I know I've talked about, I replayed Celeste as well, in like after I played Super Mario Brothers Wonder, because that was one that it, like also 2D
talking about that
2D side scroller, and that was another one that like reignited my love for like 2D platformers. So it felt good coming back to that after Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and I think it is really cool to see that, where it's like there's all kinds of potential from all different kinds of games to like really get us back into gaming that like really speak to us in a way that you wouldn't expect. I love the fact that it can be either something like as huge as Spider-Man 2, or as something that is like as intimate as like actually I've been playing Florence, which is it is like kind of an indie game. It's just very somber, or like even Gris. When I talk about that, that's like a really sweet, very somber game that is like just really touching. I love the fact that like we have all those kinds of games. Saying all that, I do want to say I love what's happening with Pal World, because I I know I sound like a homer from Nintendo. Not gonna say Doe, but I'm rooting for the home team. I love Nintendo. Shout out again. Makes fun of me for that all the time. Saying all that, I want Power World to put as much pressure and just really give it to the Pokemon Company, just like the game, just being like, hey, just really press them this time. Just be like, hey, we're gonna keep doing this. If you don't step up, we're just gonna take your lunch at this point.
Like,
I love that. I'm so excited.
Thank you. That is, I feel so justified, which is like, it's just that's exactly how I feel. Like, I think Palette World looks fun in itself, and that's great and all.
Yeah.
But what I really want is it to succeed, so that Pokemon Game Freak, whatever, is like, oh fuck, we have to try. Like,
yes, yeah,
like
that's huge, and especially for Pokemon. Like, they haven't had like a competitor for a long time. Like, or like someone in that sector that scratches that same kind of itch. Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I was actually just talking about like, there's other Pokemon imitators out there. Like, I get ads for them on my phone all the time, like, it's nothing new to imitate Pokemon, but none of them have ever really succeeded like this. Ever, to the extent that like they signed a deal with Xbox, like, ever to the extent that like it's there's just so much success with Power World right now, and it rocks because exactly what you said. I just hope. Well, first of all the flowers to those guys. Really, like
100%. Yeah.
Look, you can make fun of them all you want. Kicked ass, man. Can you imagine? Like, I think so. I had heard that it was literally like a very small group of people that like made this game. It's like, could you imagine like we made this game on the side, and now we're just millionaires, and this is our job. We're gonna make this a series. Like, you're gonna do that. Like, they're gonna focus on Power now. This is gonna be a real thing. Dope. That's crazy.
That's really cool to see.
Imagine it being like an Xbox exclusive going forward.
Like, I could see that. Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's great. That is honestly awesome to hear, because that's like, that's what I want out of the games industry is I want competition. I want I want companies like these coming up, really just putting the needles to the big companies. And I know I've talked about this before. I don't like any big corporation, but at the same time, when you can put pressure on these companies, that's when they start to fucking work for it. They need to work for their customers and actually put in the effort. And I won't say put in the effort, because I know that the actual developers on Pokemon games are probably care.
I'm sure. Yes.
A lot of hard work going into it.
But at the same time,
that is it. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. It's
no, I'm interrupting you because we're very much in agreement. It's I'm sure people in these games like put their care into it, but like, I think at the end of the day, a game like Pokemon, you're getting the publisher pressure of like, just pump a game out. Like, like, do they want to put more? And I think with Pokemon specifically, like, the thing I will give Scarlet and Violet from what I've played so far is I think they tried to make the story as interesting as possible, and it just it's the gameplay and the visuals are so like there's it's that's the thing about Power. It's like I don't know if you've seen it, but there is very much there's a ton of like, someone will pull up Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and then they pull up Tears of the Kingdom or even Breath of the Wild, and it's like this is the same system, like, and the visuals are miles apart from each other. You know what I mean? Like, and that's
I've seen some clips, and it's rough. It is like I don't want to say PS2, but like
there's a difference between looking like a cartoon and looking bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, Mario Wonder looks fantastic.
Oh my god.
And is a cartoon.
I forgot to mention this. One of my favorite parts, not to divert back to that whole game.
I did.
But thank you. The facial expressions are it's it's a very small little detail. The facial expressions of Mario, so delightful. He'll do this thing when you're running. He'll get like kind of like his game face on. He's like, he gets like kind of stern and stuff like that. Second thing they do when he starts running faster, his legs do like a little blur kind of thing, almost like Sonic, and it's really delightful. And it's like, yeah, it's like you can do cartoonish kind of things in a but look really well, like look great doing it. I feel like everything I've seen from Pokemon is like going for that aesthetic and that look of the world, or like the feel of Pokemon, but it's not quite capturing that.
It's very bland is the best word I would put.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
it feels very like very I like there's no other like bland. It just feels colorful, like it's just very dulled down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense where I mean, yeah, your words not mine, baby. But like, yeah, like
right.
It's like you have to wonder like where did production go on these games kind of a thing. And that's what, so like when a game like Power World comes out, that's the like visually I want, like, if Power World with actual Pokemon is what I want, and it's like you can do this, like just put money, that much, like yeah, man, money, like that's the other thing is like I don't know, I've never paid attention enough to realize whether or not Pokemon does yearly releases, but like give them more time, like just give it to them. It's not, it's not Suicide Squad that's in limbo forever and just gonna be horrible when it comes out. That's another one of those games where like people involved actually really cared about it, but like
there's probably people who were like, man, I get to work on a fucking Suicide Squad, like a Suicide Squad game. That sounds fucking gold. It like that is such a good premise of like, yeah, you get to play as the baddest motherfuckers in DC. And then imagine working on that game for like, I think it's like 8 years or something, like 6 to 8 years. Like that is, and then it's when it comes out, it's just like that's how, I mean, that's how they're treated.
Did it actually release?
Like, I think it did, or it did, and then it had. Did you hear what happened with the early access where it like broke the servers?
That's what I think I heard about that, and I thought they didn't release it because of that or something.
I think that's like locked now. I can't remember. I had to look up more stuff. Know. Yeah,
it's not great.
Did you? I did hear one thing. Well, I heard an aspect about the game that actually was like, that's kind of cool.
I think the whole concept is cool. Like look, I'm giving it a hard time. I'm kind of noogieing it though. Like, it truly is a shame that it's not going to work out. But I'm
bummed.
But anyway, what was the specific thing you were specifically like?
Can I tell you a spoiler about the game?
Oh, you could. If you gave me the whole script, I wouldn't care. I mean, like, I'm interested. I don't care if I'm spoiled.
Yeah. It's like, it's not so much like the spoiler. It's just that. So for me, it was what I heard was that, the subtitle is "Kill the Justice League," and that's one of the things I always thought they were going to softball it, be like, kill the Justice League, knock them out for a little bit, and then they'll come to. They fucking killed the Justice League. They like dead.
Really?
Like a lot of those characters, which I'm like, that's actually kind of awesome. Like that's a ballsy move. That's what I respect for it. I'm like, that's what you want out of a Suicide Squad game. It's like if you're gonna do, like, it's called Kill the Justice League, and you fucking have to. And like, fucking Batman gets killed. Like it's crazy. It's one of the things I'm like, that's kind of awesome to see. Yeah.
I might be wrong on this. Isn't this the last Kevin Conroy, like, that's in the chamber and it's been there forever?
There was actually an update to that story. I know what you're talking about, but so they basically said they have this and they have some recording for. There's a new animated Batman project at Amazon right now by Ed Brubaker and Bruce Timm. They're doing like that, and they haven't said what role he recorded for it. I don't think it's Batman. I think it's gonna be like a legacy kind of character thing where it's like he might be playing like Thomas Wayne or something like that. So they have some recording for that, but then they also just recently updated, and I'm I'm so fucking excited for this. It's excited, but also at the same time, I'm like, I'm not ready emotionally. Is that he did record some lines as the animated series Batman for Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. That it's
wow.
And I'm like, that's really fortunate.
That's cool.
They got that, and that's pretty dope too. If he's playing like, and like the way they phrased it too was like the animated series Batman. It isn't like
right, like that's
he's playing Batman.
It's Infinite Earth, so like they're bringing in that version.
I love that. Yeah, no, I think that's so. So as far as I know, this is not his last one, but they will have a little.
But
bit
he is in it.
There's
go back to that.
Yes,
he is in Suicide Squad. It's Batman. Yeah, that's cool.
He plays Batman, and it's cool. It actually does take place after Arkham Knight, and it acknowledges what happens at the end of that game in a really cool way. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I didn't expect them to, and they acknowledge everything with
I love that you spoiled this whole game.
So like, yeah, you don't have to go play it. Yeah, it's in the process. I was also spoiling Arkham Knight. I just realized I was like, hey, also this game almost 10 years old. I can talk about.
I don't give a shit about the listeners. Look, you can't. Arkham Knight came out. You said 10 years. That's literally like a 10-year-old game. Come on, get over yourself.
Come on.
But
also,
I meant that you spoiled it for you. Like you were like, oh, I'm eating this up right now.
I was like might as well. Yeah. At a certain point, I was just like, I was curious, not enough to see for myself.
Yeah.
And it was mostly. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just.
I mean, everybody gets one. Marvel had Avengers. DC has to have Suicide Squad. It's.
Yeah. Marvel sure had Avengers.
Oh. You know what? I think now's the time I play that game. I think that was it. I was actually thinking of that the other day. I'm like, if I could find it for like $5, so that was always the. I was like, that's the threshold.
I'll just nail it.
I don't want to play it. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm so mad because I liked the Captain America gameplay, and that might be it. It might be the only reason I want to play it. And that's like that's tough. I don't know if I want to.
I loved, and I haven't played God of War still to this day, but I hear it's very similar. I love the Thor gameplay, dude. The Thor gameplay was my freaking.
That's awesome.
Going to town with the hammer and throwing it. And I really enjoyed it. I think the gameplay for Avengers was fun, but just it was a bad story, and it was just it was literally it was just paywalled to hell.
Right.
And it was so bad. It was a game that was like guys, you're paywalling every little possible thing that's not in the story, and it's like why?
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
And then you promised Spider-Man and gave it like 2 years later, and it was horrible.
It was not good. Yeah.
Horrible.
Damn.
Yeah. I think Arkham Knight.
That's
not Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight was very good. At least Gotham Knights. I think Anj really liked Gotham Knights, right? Like I think that was pretty well received. I don't think it was like
later she did. Yeah.
I don't think it was like the greatest
thing in the world. Like,
but it was
that's fine.
It's Batman. It's born Batman. You know, like yeah.
I kind of want to play it. I kind of want to still play it because it.
I'm like again. I'm not shitting on it. Like I don't think it reinvented the wheel, but I think it did what it wanted, which was you like Batman.
A good wheel.
Here's a Batman game.
Yeah. It may have lost the wheel. The Joker may have got away, but still pretty good.
That was good. That might have been one of your best references of all time.
Thank you. That's. What can I say? Yeah.
I think I had one more thing before we get going, and I can't remember what it was. Talked about Power World, Nintendo. Oh, I don't know if this is it, but did you hear this is your news segment in your last like 10 minutes of the episode if you're still listening.
If you're still with us.
The Xbox rumor leaks that dropped.
Yes, like
that apparently
today,
Xbox
I've been thinking about that. Yeah.
Is so for anyone who hasn't heard, and it's pretty much confirmed by the fact that Spencer is like, he literally tweeted out, I will be addressing this week.
Yeah.
Like, so that's I mean, you just confirmed it and you're just going to address it, which is fine, but like, holy shit. Apparently Xbox is not going to have exclusives anymore. And that's very simplifying it, but like the actual leak is Indiana Jones was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, and it leaked that it's actually getting a PlayStation release X months after the Xbox release.
Right.
And I forget the other game, but the same thing.
I think it's like Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush. There's like a few others that are there. There was one more that was like, I know it was an Xbox exclusive. Keep talking. I should be able to look it up real quick.
So the simple like there's these Xbox exclusives on the horizon, and they're all of them are being leaked to not be exclusive Xbox. And so the oversimplification of it is Xbox is not going to have exclusives moving forward. My friend texted me, who is to this day the only guy I know left that has an Xbox. Like,
oh damn, yeah.
Like, he's interested in getting a Series X, and I'm like, and he literally he was just ride or die. He's never gotten a PlayStation. He's always been Microsoft, and he texts me about this, and I actually didn't hear about it yet. Before he's like, "Did you hear the Xbox news?" I said, "No." I look up, and I'm like, "Wow." And he's like, "So what does that mean?" So here's my take: Xbox has been slowly leaning off exclusives for a while now. Specifically, like a lot of games are both Xbox and PC. Sure, PC is Microsoft friendly, but it's still technically not exclusive on Xbox.
Yeah,
I don't have an Xbox, but I can play Halo. I can play Starfield. Like, I can play all these games, So they've been kind of leaning off of that for a while, which is true. And I think, I think the best thing Xbox has for it right now is Game Pass. I think in game sharing, there really isn't anything that is as good as Xbox Game Pass. It's amazing. You being a huge advocate for it, like
100%. It's I was just gonna say, like, yesterday. Oh, and I wanted to update. It's also Gears of War that might be coming to PlayStation as well.
What?
Yeah, do you right?
This begs the question, why get an Xbox when there's no Xbox exclusives? And I think that is just the most honest to God truth. Like Game Pass is great. I'm not dissing it. It like truly is the best in the game. I think Nintendo's isn't as good. The retro Nintendo stuff is really cool, but the current stuff, like current Nintendo, I know nothing about PlayStations. I know it exists. It might be great.
It's rough. It's not
great.
Good.
So it's not. But Game Pass, I have never heard a bad thing about.
Oh yeah.
I don't think though that's good enough for the sales of future Xboxes, and I truly kind of think we might never get a new Xbox. Like,
I think you're right.
It's not so much that it's dying. I think they're going to create I think Series S is essentially what it is, but they might make one more new Series S, I'll call it, which is just a kind of like a cable box to plug in and play your Game Pass games. And I think maybe it's budgeted better. Maybe it's like $100 for this box that doesn't exist, like something like that. I think in the world of video games, if you're buying a console and there's nothing on that is the reason, even if it wasn't game exclusives, but all your friends are still playing Xbox. In this world where the Switch and the PlayStation are both solid exclusive lineups.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And most families, video games being family things, most families only afford one console. Like, why would you get the thing that doesn't have any of that?
Right. When you have both, you can have exclusive and whatever it used to be
right
on Xbox now on this platform. Like, if they fucking just put Game Pass on PlayStation, I would lose my fucking mind. That would be amazing. I don't know if
that would be awesome though.
That would be like, oh my God. Yeah.
It would be it's Xbox people would hate it. And I understand because your console would be dead at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would be awesome. That would be so cool.
I would love that. I'd be really happy. It'd be really nice because I was just thinking yesterday. I was like, man, it'd be really cool getting an Xbox. I want to play Gears again. And then they came out with this, and I was like, okay, awesome.
Guess you're playing Gears again.
Yeah. I will happily do that. Yeah. On a PlayStation if they'll let me. Yeah. God damn, it would just be it'd be really nice to not have to buy an Xbox. I'm just gonna say that as someone who is very broke, I don't want to buy another thing, and having it all in one place would just be it would be so much easier too for everybody. Just fucking do it, Microsoft. Just fucking do it. Just do it.
Yeah, dude. And I think another thing Xbox really has for it, which they've leaned off of with their digital platform, is they were always backwards compatible friendly.
Right. And now it's like, like what are you doing?
But if you just lean on Game Pass, which is backward, like old games are on Game Pass, but like you're also anyway, that's pretty much all. I don't know. I think I would not be surprised if Xbox releases like $100 stream only device that is just gonna live forever but die young.
I like that. Yeah, honestly, it's a note I want to go out on is I'll have to go back and listen to the episode because we recorded an episode back when Microsoft first bought Bethesda and Activision, like right around that time. We recorded an episode where we talked about what the future of Xbox is, and we kind of alluded to the idea of like it being like a digital only like platform. I think that 100% tracks at this point, like where they've been heading is very much like we're gonna buy up all these studios, all these companies, and instead of manufacturing the console, we're just gonna have our fingers in the pies of all these different games. So that, like, yeah, you could sell your PlayStations. Go ahead. We'll put our games on that, and you can sell them for us. It's very much like that feeling.
I remember us talking about that. We talked about them diving into the game production aspect of it as a company, and like it's not a bad thing for them as a company, but it's a completely different direction now.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know if I don't know if I could have predicted it like this.
All right, let's end on a high note. Brandon, I'm going to ask you quick heavy hitter. With this going back into some good vibes, good games.
Absolutely.
What is a game that you're excited to play? It doesn't have to be a new release, but a game that you're excited to play that you haven't played yet.
Ooh,
it could be.
I know exactly the answer.
Yeah,
Resident Evil 4 remake. I've been so jazzed about that, and because of I have not had like it came out on PS4, but it was like you could tell they were like, you can put you can put it on PS4 if you want, but we're over here on the PS5. It was definitely that feeling, and I'm like, I'm so fucking jazzed to play that again because the original game is like one of my all-time favorites, and everything I've heard about the remake is basically like, oh, they made it better. And I'm like, awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm excited to play. Don't know when I'm going to get it. We'll figure that out. But I'm playing other games too. So it's one of those things where I know a lot of people make resolutions where they're like, I want to go back to the gym. I want to get more in shape. I want to, do all this kind of stuff. No, I want to play more video games. I want to play the most video games I've had in my entire life this year.
Dude, you'll love it. There's Barstool Sports. I think I'm sure you've heard of that company, right? The one of the like head guys, he sometime in January, they were talking about like New Year's resolutions, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my New Year's resolution is to eat more Dairy Queen Blizzards." And he said that the most. So, and then like he followed up with it though, like he was tweeting out like Dairy Queen Blizzards, and it's like just I love it.
That's amazing. That it feels in line with what I want to do too. It's like I mean, fuck, I one of my resolutions was like, I was like,
I want to go outside more. I want to stay in.
Yeah. Have you been outside? I'm getting the fuck back in. I'm gonna stay in and stay there and be happy about it. I gotta say, I spent the other day playing video games for like 10 hours straight. It was great. That like fucking I don't give a shit. Like, am I supposed to want anything else?
I actually said this earlier, but I don't know how people have kids because I'm like, I'll play a video game for like 4 hours and be like, oh, well, they can't do this. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is the best feeling in the world. But I want to hear your answer, and I got a question for you too.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good dumb one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my answer is I'm going to stick with. I said it earlier, but I'm actually, the more I think about this game coming out, the more I get excited about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm not like, it's not pre-ordered. It's not like I don't have the collector's edition lined up or anything like that. But like, the more I realize this game is coming out in less than a month, I'm like, this is awesome.
That's dope.
It's honestly, I think I'm gonna day one buy it. Like, I think I'm just gonna go to the store and get it whenever it comes out, because I'm excited. I don't want anything spoiled, and I probably won't have beaten Crisis Core, even though I want to beat it beforehand. I'm probably just gonna say fuck it and just get the new game.
Right.
Because like,
awesome. I love that.
I'm so, and I hope that we get to talk about a remake at some point soon.
Yeah.
Because we never dove into
I'm gonna
it
try to play it.
once.
Yeah.
But that's true, and you're gonna try and play it, so that we'll wait till then. But like,
we'll figure it out. Yeah.
I'm excited for the future of this mini series, I'll call it. Like
I like that.
I the fact that this game is like, this game doesn't feel real, and it's coming out in like 3 weeks. So every time I say it out loud, I'm getting more and more excited for it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. And we should end on that note. But I have a really dumb question to ask you.
I want to hear it.
What's your next technology purchase that you're like, this is dumb as shit. Why am I buying this? But I still want to buy it. Because I got one locked in, and you're going to laugh at me.
Oh, that's a great question.
Because I feel like we, respectively and respectfully, we both go through that where we're like, what if, like fucking, every 3 months, and I'm like, what if I bought a Steam Deck? And I'll just like kind of say that out loud and then just never do anything about it. I'm on that type shit right now. I'm on that.
I am. I'm gonna fire you up and make you like. I am. I talk. My brother, when Nick texted me, he's like, "Hey, I think I'm getting a PS5." I'm like, "You better not want me to tell you not to, because you know that ain't happening." Like,
you will not. Yeah, you will not get it from here. Yeah,
I am your tech hype man. Man, do I have anything lined up right now? That's
something where you're like,
I don't think
dumb, but I want it.
I don't think I can say yes to that. I will say, I think about the Switch 2 an awful lot. Yeah. But I'm not, I gotta say, I'm thinking negatively. Like, I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know what it could possibly offer that makes me go day one purchase.
Right.
And will it eventually happen? I mean, probably. But like, I don't think
that's good conversation. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But man, if I had to say, I'm on like, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna all right. I'm currently, I bought, I think a while ago, like I might have talked about it on here, but I purchased a PSP on eBay a while ago.
Right. Yes.
And I never really played with it, and I realized that some of the buttons are not great condition. So I'm currently trying to refurbish that system by myself right now. Yeah. I bought a couple of parts that are currently in the process of getting in. So like, I just bought a new screwdriver set to like take it apart.
Damn.
So I guess that's technically like that field, that wheelhouse of like, I'm currently trying to Frankenstein this PSP to better shape. I'm excited about that.
I love it because like I wish I could see you in the process of doing it, because I keep imagining and hearing in my head the Iron Man music when he's making the armor, just like dum, 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 dum. Yeah, just like you're hitting it with a hammer for some reason. You're like, Zach, you should probably stop that. It's like just shattering everywhere. Just pieces of like shrapnel going everywhere. I love that answer though.
I'm gonna go with that.
And that's 100%. I that has now gotten me on my, well, now I'm thinking about, I'm like, I should get on that DS. That DS train. I got to do that with I got one that, go ahead.
I also I have my old Game Boy that I bought on eBay years ago that I want to take apart and clean. So that is currently my tech. I am on that tech kick right now. So that's actually like not new, but just fixing. I want to.
I love that. Yeah. My dumb want to buy technology purchase, and it's one where I'm like, fucking stop it, Brandon. Like I'm already telling myself that it's a PlayStation Portal. I kind of want that thing.
I am.
It's dumb, and I kind of want it.
Look, I'm not going to say I'm going to buy it, but I will be shocked if I don't have that by the end of 2024.
I love that. That makes me so happy to hear.
And I have been on this podcast shitting on it. 100%.
Both of us. Yeah. Both of us at the same time. Same bowl. Yeah. Awful.
Because you can literally, and I have it, you can buy those controller things, hook it up to your phone, and wirelessly play your PlayStation. You can do everything the Portal can on this. But you know what's better is a designated device with an HD LED screen that hooks up to Wi-Fi, that has a PlayStation controller feel. Like it's
You want to? I mean, what I got to do is I got to take my phone out of my case, and that's not gonna happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And my battery life is dog shit. So that's the other reason why. But yeah, I will
stoke those flames for you, Brandon. I will give you the lighter fluid. I will throw the charcoals in. I will get you the firewood. I am all here for it.
That's what the show's for.
That is the most dumb, useless piece of technology. And I see myself getting that before Switch 2, which is a technically new system.
I love that. I love it. I love this episode. I love the show because we're so back. We're so back. We're so back. And now we're so out. Both
Thank you everyone for listening.
Gotta get some time to sleep.
I gotta get out of here. Thank you everyone for listening to Caffeine Co-op, your garbage video game podcast. Description below. I'm tired of saying those things in all my other podcasts and this one. I stopped doing that. Just if you care, description below.
You'll find
we exist. We exist.
Well, you'll figure it out. You're smart. If you're listening to this, you're smart. But from all of us here, from all two of us here at Caffeine Co-op LLC, I have been and always will be Brandon.
And I'm Zach. Thank you all for listening. And we're out.
Bye-bye.